Hello! Here we're looking at the new Judge Dredd Miniatures game from Warlord Games. I've got here the trade demo pack. I bought this just the other week. This is distributed to game stores and other places just so people can have a look at the rules, first look at the rules and some of the other bits and pieces. So I'll show you what's in this box and then we'll have a quick look at some of the individual pieces like the figures and the rules and some of the cards and stuff. So first of all, in our box we have the Judge Dredd Miniatures Game book. I think this is a light one. I think the retail version is probably hardback. So, but what we have, just quickly show you, is a very nice full colour rule book here. This is what? Oh, 160 pages. I think, like I say, I think the actual retail version is also going to be about the same size, but probably in hardcover. So we also have in here, we've got a set of figures in here. Just a quick look now, but we'll have a look in a second. So we've got Judge Dredd and 4 street perps for your first setup. We also have a set of dice. As you can see, these are full coloured and, well, semi-half coloured, and also have 2000 AD, a hit and a shield symbol on them. We also have a couple of normal D6s as well. There's quite a few of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 of those dice, so that's probably going to be more than enough for a game. We also have 2 sets of counters, plastic counters these are. I think again these are going to be available as separate sets, so you'll be able to buy these. You'll probably actually be able to paint these up quite nicely. So you've got the different tokens for the different units. You've also got suppression and hits. These are fast movements and other bits and pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 skulls, probably to show somebody who's been taken out. So quite again a fair few bits and pieces there. We also have here a set of cards. So we've got the Big Meg cards, and towards the back we've got armory cards. Now these are used in the game. I know this because I've actually read through the rules. These are used in the game, so and it's semi-card driven. We also have as well over here the actual stat cards for the different characters. And again, this is, as it's only a demo set, there's only a few. So we've got a judge, street judge, a rookie judge, senior street judge, veteran street judge, the block gang with a few different gangsters in it, and block gang lieutenant, not a lieutenant, a lieutenant, because he's obviously in America. Also we have this huge playmat. As you see, this folds out quite big. It's quite big. This is about 3 by 3. Really nice photo, almost photo-like Judge Dredd street map. That's quite nice. I'll get a proper full shot of that in a second. And that's 3 by 3, which is the size of the game. We also have in here a very short scenario booklet. Again, full colour, and there's 1, 2, 3 scenarios in there. A bit of a quick reference sheet for the game, and also finally in here we have these card pieces as well, which will be used as scatter scenery and the like. One side is obviously it's nice side, and the other side is where it's all been on fire or demolished or graffitied. And these are pop out cardboard pieces to scatter across your 3 by 3 terrain tiles. These are the figures that you get with the demo pack, but they pretty much mirror the metal figures that I've also seen as well as part of the promo pack. So as I say, you get a nice Judge Dredd. You also get these 4 street gangs. These are, I don't think they're rubber. I don't think they're resin. They're rubberish, but they're fine. What you'll notice is these are very nicely proportioned. Actually, they're not particularly chunky. They're not cartoony. They're really nice proportions. These are 28mm, even though they actually look bigger because the proportions are right. Compared to the old Warlord range of Judge Dredd figures, I think these are going to be really nice. What I have seen from the figures is that their uniforms are actually identical, as they should be. The old Warlord range had very different uniforms of the figures, so it didn't look like a set of judges. It just looked like a random person had decided to mould a new Judge Dredd figure. So this is nice. It's very nice. So how does the game play? Well, in very simple terms, I'm not going to go into particularly detailed here, but each character has a set of statistics, which shows you how far they move, how well they shoot, how well they fight, how much damage they take, also just how much their notoriety is as well, which is basically their points. Each turn, each character has a chip which is put into a bag or a cup, and all of these are put in together, including enemies, both sides, sorry, and you draw one at a time, and whoever chip comes out decides they can move a piece. So, say for instance, Judge Dredd was blue, he would be able to move on the drawing of this chip. You roll dice depending on the stats when you're attacking or defending, and it is the 2000 AD dice. Some of these have hit numbers on them, and some of them have the shield side. Some also have the special, which is a 2000 AD symbol, and these all mean different things. It's generally like a lot of games these days, where you basically create a pool of dice, and however many dice you roll, however many dice roll to hit is the amount of hits. Then you kind of defend against that. Relatively simple. And fast play as well, and pretty modern style of game. We also have these armory cards, which you can actually add a few of these if you have the skills for them, and these do various bits and pieces. You play those as you attack or not. So this adds a little bit of a dimension of risk and unknowing to your enemy. It gives you a little bit of depth to it. And also alongside those, you have these big mega cards as well, which are more like events, or something may happen. So it says D3 of your action chips from the table and place them back in the bag. So that means you can possibly reactivate your characters. So there's quite a lot of stuff in there, really. Quite a lot to go on. I will assume that they'll probably make quite a lot of the armory cards and the big meg cards in new developments. It's generally played on the 3x3 square. So I've got a setup here. You can see this is the basic setup that I have. It's obviously 2D, but you can still use this quite nicely to play on. Overall, this game looks like it's going to be a good, fast-paced skirmish game set in the Judge Dredd world, with flavour added from the big meg cards and from the armory, and also just from the different characters as well. As I say, the actual book itself is absolutely packed full of not only the rules, which are a relatively small part of it. So you've got the combat rules in here, various mounted vehicle rules, your different bits of terrain, and that takes up 30 or so pages, 38 pages. Then we have the armory, where it's talking about the different weapons that you can use, also various special rules, the armory cards here as well. And it's full of information about Judge Dredd and the Judge Dredd experience and world. And then we go on to talking about the different characters in Mega City 1. So real good in-depth information here, even if you're only interested in Judge Dredd as a character and just the background. You can get a lot of stuff out of this book. So we got covers lots of different characters. So we got just gone past to Sir Judge Anderson, one of the most famous Judge Dredd characters, and obviously Judge Dredd himself is back here. There he is, nice full colour page of Dredd. We also have Mechamizo, the robot judges. I'm fairly certain they will be making an appearance at some point. Judge Death, again one of the most famous characters, and even some of the better known villains, so like Orlok, the old assassin from East Megwan. And then we talk about various other villains and bad guys, and the City Death, for instance, fatties, everybody loves the fatties, and so on really. Also, as I say as well, at the back end of this we've got a little bit about the Cursed Earth, but also several more scenarios, just actually explaining to you exactly how to play these games, crimes and sentencing, which is nice to see. I've not actually read the full rules yet, so I don't know exactly how the sentencing comes into it, but I think it's more for the campaign games. So if you've got a character, they may end up in the cubes for a while and not being able to take place in the next game. And as I say, several scenarios. Let's have a count of them. 5. There's 6 scenarios just in the book itself, along with the other 4 that are part of this set. And also more in-depth rules on the campaigns and increasing notoriety and promotions and your deeds and all this kind of thing as well. So, you know, really well thought out by the looks of things. Really good way of developing characters while you're playing this game. So then we just go on talk a little bit there about the other cards as well. So I think overall this is going to be an interesting game. Always liked Judge Dredd, one of my favourite characters of all time. This I think is going to really a real upgrade from the previous Judge Dredd Miniatures game, which Warlord had. It seems they've really sorted everything out a bit, tightened it up, and just made it look a lot nicer. And this is going to be a big release and something that I'm very interested in playing over the next couple of years, I would think. So thank you for watching.